There is a fact about the human body that most people never learn. It is not in the medical textbooks for the poets, and it is not in the poetry books for the doctors. It is this. The hardest substance in the human body is not the dense femur bone that carries our weight, nor the sturdy skull that protects the mind. It is the enamel that sheathes our teeth, a microscopic lattice of crystalline rock, a shield meant for grinding, for crushing, for enduring a lifetime of friction. Think about that. Our greatest strength isn't in our foundation or our fortress. It is in the part of us that is designed to meet resistance, to bite down, to tear, to chew through the tough gristle of the world, and to do it again and again until the very end. That is the first truth of a real hero. It was never about being unbreakable. It was about having a will harder than enamel, a soul tempered to bite down on the bitter stuff of life and not let go. I want you to remember a feeling, not a movie, not a specific scene with a famous face, but a feeling. The feeling you got when you watched a story about a person, just a person, standing in a storm they did not create, but knew they had to face. There was no cosmic energy swirling around their fists, no destiny written in the stars. There was only a choice. A quiet, terrible, and magnificent choice to do the thing that was right, even as every fiber of their being screamed to do what was easy. That feeling in your chest, that tightness, that ache of recognition, that is what we are talking about. That is the ghost we are chasing. Because somewhere along the way, we traded that ache for a spectacle. We traded the close-up on a trembling hand for a wide shot of a galaxy exploding, and we lost something. We lost the map to our own courage. Heroes used to be human. That was the whole point. They were human, and that was the miracle. Their stories were not about the power they possessed, but about the humanity they refused to surrender. You felt their pain not as a plot point, but as a visceral reality. You saw them bleed, and the blood was red, and it meant something. It meant they were fragile. You saw them fail, and the failure was devastating, and it meant something. It meant they had something to lose. You saw them lose people, a father, a lover, a friend, and the grief did not vanish in the next scene with a quip. It clung to them. It became a part of their walk, a shadow in their eyes, a weight on their shoulders that they learned to carry. They got up, yes, but you saw the cost of them getting up. You saw the gritted teeth, the strained muscle, the tear wiped away with a dirty sleeve. That was what we related to. Not perfection, perseverance. The slow, agonizing, unglamorous work of getting back up. We have forgotten the language of struggle. Modern tales speak in the grand, sweeping lexicon of universes and timelines. The stakes are always the end of everything. The multiverse, all of reality. And in making the stakes everything, they have made the stakes nothing. When a hero is fighting for every planet in every galaxy, what is the loss of one? What is the loss of a single quiet life in a small apartment on a forgotten street? We have been shown so many collapsing stars that we have become blind to a single trembling candle flame fighting against the dark. The battles now are cosmic, but the soul of the story has been hollowed out. It's all spectacle, a beautiful, deafening, empty spectacle. And in the silence that follows the last thunderous chord of the soundtrack, a quiet question echoes. Why did I not feel a thing? The old stories were different. They were about personal battles, the wars fought in the cramped trenches of the human heart. The enemy was not a purple titan from the void. The enemy was your own desire for a peaceful life, warring with your responsibility to a messy one. It was the choice between what was right and what was comfortable. It was the temptation to look the other way when a wrong was being done, because to intervene would cost you. It would cost you your safety, your reputation, your peace. The hero was the one who saw that cost, calculated it with a sinking heart, and stepped forward anyway. They fought not for glory, but because someone had to. There is a profound difference. One is a performance. The other is a confession. Think of the archetypes. the ghosts that haunt our collective memory. The sheriff with a troubled past, putting the badge back on because the town is sick, and he is the only one with the medicine of violence and justice. He doesn't want to. He is tired. He is broken. But he does it. The lone wanderer. A man who has lost everything, who uses the emptiness inside him as a compass to guide others toward their own fullness. The mother working 3 jobs, her dreams a pile of ashes in the back of her mind, who still finds the energy to read a bedtime story with voices, creating a universe of wonder in a single room for her child. These are the heroes. Their stage is not a universe. It is a town, a road, a home. Their audience is not a billion viewers. It is one person they are trying to save. And that specificity, that smallness, is what makes it universal. Because we all live in a small town of our own making. We all walk a lonely road sometimes. We all have a home, a heart we are trying to protect. This is the relatable struggle. The best heroes were mirrors. We saw our own anxieties in their fear. We saw our own reluctance in their hesitation. We saw our own small acts of courage in their grand ones. When they chose to tell the hard truth, we remembered the time we did the same, or the time we failed to. When they stood up for the little guy, we felt a pang of recognition for the times we had been the little guy. Invisible and hoping for an ally. Their battles were metaphors for our own. The dragon was not a literal beast. It was the debt collector at the door, the diagnosis in a doctor's office, the addiction whispering in the dark. The quest was not for a golden chalice. It was for self-respect, for redemption, for a second chance. The story worked because it was true. It was not true in the sense that it happened, but true in the sense that it happens every day, in quiet rooms and on crowded streets. And this is where the moral weight lives. Real heroes carry things. They carry guilt, the memory of a mistake that cost a life. They carry loss, the empty chair at the table, the ghost that walks beside them. They carry responsibility, not as a privilege, but as a burden. Their choices matter because they have consequences that ripple through their small world and change it, for better or worse. There is no reset button. There is no time stone to undo the damage. The scar remains. The lesson is etched into them. This is the cost of doing the right thing. And this cost is where the emotional depth of the story lives. It is the silence after the gunshot. It is the hero kneeling by the grave of the friend who died for their cause. It is the look in their eyes that says, "Was it worth it?" And the slow, painful nod that answers, "It had to be." This is the stuff of real courage. Not the absence of fear, but the acceptance of cost. We have lost the beauty of silence in our stories. We have forgotten the power of a moment that is allowed to breathe. In the old tales, the camera, or the narrator's eye, would linger. It would linger on a hero's face as they absorbed a terrible truth. You would see the shock, the denial, the anger, the grief, and finally the grim acceptance all play out in a 20-second close-up. Without a single word, the music would be a single mournful cello, or nothing at all. Just the sound of the wind, or the rain against the window, or their own ragged breath. That silence had weight. It had density. It invited you in. It said, "Sit here in this discomfort. Feel this with me." It was in these quiet spaces that the story truly happened. It was in the pauses between the actions that the character was forged. Now, our stories are terrified of silence. They fill every moment with a quip, an explosion, a piece of expository dialogue, a swelling orchestra telling you exactly how to feel. They don't trust you to feel it on your own. They don't trust the moment to carry its own weight. This is the cinematic feel of humanity. It is simplicity. It is patience. It is the courage to be quiet. It feels like a memory, because it is structured like one. Our most powerful memories are not the loud, chaotic ones. They are the sharp, clear, silent snapshots. The way the light fell through the window on a September afternoon, the specific wrinkle on a loved one's hand, the exact tone of voice in which a difficult truth was told. The old stories understood this. They were built from these emotional snapshots. They felt honest because they were not in a hurry. They knew that transformation is a slow and painful process, like a river carving a canyon. It does not happen in a single, explosive moment. It happens over thousands of quiet, persistent, unnoticed moments. Here's the modern paradox. Our stories are bigger than they have ever been. The budgets are larger, the special effects are more realistic, the scale is literally infinite, and yet they feel smaller. The emotions are quieter, or rather, they are shouted, but they have no echo in our souls. The world of storytelling keeps giving us more power. Heroes who can punch through planets, who can manipulate reality with a thought. But it is giving us fewer lessons. What lesson can a god teach me about paying my mortgage? What inspiration can I draw from a cosmic being who has never known fear or loss or the paralyzing anxiety of a Monday morning? We have been given a feast of spectacle, but we are starving for a crumb of meaning. Maybe what we are searching for isn't a new hero with new powers. Maybe we are searching for the reminder of why we cared about heroes in the first place. It was never about the power. It was about the person. It was about the fragile, beautiful, stubborn will of a human being to remain good in a world that constantly tries to make them hard. To remain kind in a world that rewards cruelty. To remain standing when every force is trying to bend their knee. We miss the feeling that being human was enough. We miss the validation that our own small daily struggles, the struggle to be honest, to be compassionate, to be responsible, are themselves a form of heroism. We don't need to see a city saved. We need to see a soul saved. This is not an attack on what is. It is a love letter to what was. It is a quiet acknowledgement of a loss. We have traded the close-up for the wide shot. We have traded the whisper for the roar. We have traded the heart for the spectacle. And in doing so, we have misplaced a piece of our own emotional vocabulary. We have forgotten how to tell stories that are not about what we can destroy, but about what we can endure. So what is the answer? Do we abandon the new for the old? No. The answer is to carry the old truth into the new stories. The answer is to remember the principle, not just the aesthetic. The principle is that a hero's strength is measured by the weight of their burden, not by the force of their punch. Their victory is measured by what they preserve of their own humanity, not by what they destroy of the enemy. This is an evergreen truth. It is as true in a space opera as it is in a Western. It is the core that makes any story resonate. Let me tell you a story about a different kind of strength. It is not a story from a film. It is the story of a Japanese art form called kintsugi. Kat. When a precious piece of pottery breaks, the artists do not discard it. They do not hide the damage. They repair it with a lacquer dusted with powdered gold, silver, or platinum. The fractures are not concealed. They are illuminated. They are made the most beautiful part of the object. The piece becomes more valuable for having been broken. This is the true image of a hero. Not an unbroken vessel, pristine and perfect, but a vessel that has been shattered and painstakingly put back together, its scars filled with gold. Its history of damage and repair is its identity. Its weakness has become its greatest strength. This is what the old stories showed us. The hero was a piece of kintsugi. Their grief was their gold. Their failures were the silver seams that traced a map of their resilience. They were beautiful not in spite of their brokenness, but because of it. This is the lesson we have misplaced. We are all broken pottery. Every single one of us. We have cracks. We have pieces that are missing. We have been dropped. We have been struck. We have fallen. The heroism is not in pretending the cracks aren't there. It is in gathering the pieces, however painful it is, and beginning the slow, patient work of putting yourself back together, and having the courage to fill your cracks with gold, to wear your history not as a shame, but as a testament, to understand that your value was not diminished by the breaking, but transformed by it. You don't need powers to be a hero. You never did. You just need to choose good when no one's watching. You need to bite down on the tough gristle of your day, your life, your struggle, with that enamel strong will, and keep chewing. You need to be the one who, when everything is trying to make you cold, selfish, and cynical, chooses to remain a little warm, a little generous, a little hopeful. That is the battle. That is the only battle that ever mattered. We don't miss the capes or the cities. We miss the feeling that being human was enough. We miss the stories that told us our quiet courage was legendary. We miss the maps that showed us how to navigate our own moral complexities. We are surrounded by narratives of power, but we are desperate for narratives of patience. We are hungry for stories that tell us it is okay to be slow, to be sad, to be scared, to be broken. As long as we do not stop. As long as we keep finding the gold to repair our own cracks. So this is my call to action for you. It is not a call to boycott a studio or a genre. It is a quieter, more profound call. The next time you feel the weight of your world on your shoulders, I want you to remember that this is the hero's journey. Not a journey to gain power, but a journey to prove that your humanity is power enough. When you get up for the job you don't love to provide for the people you do, that is a heroic act. When you forgive someone who does not deserve it, not for them, but for your own peace, that is a heroic act. When you choose to be kind to a stranger, or to yourself, in a world that is often unkind, that is a heroic act. When you face a private pain with a public grace, that is a heroic act. These are not small things. These are the things that hold the world together. They are the quiet, unseen seams of gold that repair the broken pottery of our collective experience. Keep going. Hey, just keep going. Your story is not written in the stars. It is written in the small, stubborn choices you make every single day. It is written in the decision to be good, to be kind, to be responsible, to be present. That is your power. The greatest power there has ever been. The power of a human being who refuses to be broken. The power of a soul that chooses to fill its cracks with gold. You are already the hero. You just forgot what one looks like. Now go remember and live your story.